You've always loved planes, but now, it's not about sitting in the cockpit. It's about controlling what happens around it. You discover air traffic control, the people in the tower and radar rooms who keep thousands of flights moving safely every day. And suddenly, the dream feels different. Because this isn't just exciting, it's a real career. A path that can begin around $47,000 to $61,000 a year in training, and rise all the way into the six figures if you survive the pressure. So you start studying, you prepare for the tests, and for the first time, the tower doesn't just look impressive, it looks like your future. At the FAA Academy, the work begins for real. You learn radar procedures, separation rules, phraseology, emergency handling, and fast decision-making under pressure. This is where the dream starts becoming a profession. And while you're still at the beginning, this path already carries real value. At the trainee level, the pay can land around $47,000 to $61,000 a year. Not enough to make the pressure disappear, but enough to remind you this isn't fantasy anymore. Every simulation matters. Every mistake teaches you something, and every successful run makes you feel one step closer to earning your place in the tower. Now it's no longer just simulation. You're inside a live tower, working under supervision, learning how to handle actual traffic while a mentor watches every move you make. The headset feels heavier now, because these aircraft are real. These decisions are real, and your career is starting to move with them. At this stage, pay often starts climbing into the $61,000 to $79,000 a year range, depending on facility level and progress. It's your first taste of what this job can become. But the money comes with tension. You're learning fast, and every shift feels like a test you can't afford to fail. Then the mentor steps back, and now the frequency is yours. You're no longer just learning in the background. You're a junior controller handling live movements on your own. Departures, arrivals, taxi instructions, spacing, timing. Every instruction leaves your mouth with real consequences. At this level, many controllers sit in the $61,000 to $79,000 a year range, which means, for the first time, the career starts feeling financially real. But the pressure rises with it. Because now every clean sequence proves you belong, and every mistake reminds you how serious the tower really is. As your experience grows, the traffic gets heavier. Now you're working a busy hub. Aircraft are stacking, taxi routes are full, arrivals keep coming, and every second matters. This is where air traffic control starts looking less like a job and more like a high-speed mental sport. And the pay reflects it. Experienced controllers at this level often land around $79,000 to $104,000 a year. You're finally in six-figure territory, or close enough to see it clearly. But this is also where the stakes change. You're no longer proving you can do the job. You're proving you can do it when everything gets crowded, loud, and relentless. Years of experience bring you here. You're no longer just controlling traffic. You're helping lead the people who do it. As a supervisor or tower lead, your attention splits in every direction: traffic flow, staffing, coordination, emergencies, and the performance of the controllers around you. At this level, pay often rises into the $104,000 to $131,000 a year range. The career now looks substantial. The responsibility looks even bigger. Because when something goes wrong, the tower looks to you. And leadership in air traffic control isn't just about being calm. It's about being right when the pressure hits hardest. Then the scope widens again. You move beyond one tower, one runway, one airport. Now you're working center-level airspace, managing traffic across entire sectors and regions. Hundreds of aircraft can be moving through your airspace in a single day. The view is bigger, the consequences are bigger, and the money reflects that. At this level, pay commonly falls between $104,000 and $152,000 a year, depending on assignment, facility, and seniority. This is not entry-level aviation anymore. This is elite operational control, and every clean handoff, every conflict solved, every aircraft separated safely adds to the mastery you've spent years building. After decades in the system, you reach the top. You're no longer just a controller. You're one of the people responsible for overseeing the operation itself. Controllers, sectors, emergencies, staffing, safety, coordination. Everything flows upward to this level. And by now, the career reflects that in every way. Senior air traffic leaders and director-level roles can reach $152,000 to $180,000 or more per year. It's the kind of number that proves this was never just a strange, niche tower job. It was always a serious career. But by this stage, the money stops being the main point. Because what matters more is what it took to get here. The years, the pressure, the flights you helped protect, the people you trained, and the quiet truth that while passengers remember the destination, you spent your life making sure they got there safely.